senior advocates Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Kapil Sibal, who have filed a petition on behalf of the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah. Do remember that the governor had given his sanction to prosecute the Chief Minister in the Muda scam. So it is Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Kapil Sibal who have scheduled to take up that case. And do remember that case is coming up in the High Court. So the Chief Minister there, who's gone on to say that this is nothing but a political vendetta, that he has done nothing wrong, which is why he will not be resigning and he will be fighting this. He put up a huge fight in the High Court, and that case is going to be coming up in High Court today. So Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Kapil Sibal, who are scheduled to arrive in Bengaluru this morning, the Chief Minister will be holding discussions with his legal team, and that's expected this morning before the case comes up in the High Court. Do remember, he has said that there is just about no question of his resignation. Following the governor granting that sanction in order to prosecute him, he's gone on to say that it is the governor who's a puppet in the hands of the central agencies and the centre, and that he has done this under the pressure of the BJP. As far as the Muda scam is concerned, in the allotment scam, he's got on to say that there is just about nothing wrong that he's done in the matter, and he's literally questioning as to why should he really be resigning. It should be the governor who should be resigning for the stance that he has taken. Let's just listen in to what Abhishek Manu Singhvi had to say.
Governor of Karnataka has given the sanction for prosecution against Mr. Siddaramaiah, and somebody who had anticipated and known about this, the Congress President as well as Rahul Gandhi, the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, the Congress in charge, Randeep, had been discussing this issue. And I'm joined by somebody who has been consulted in the entire process, and this is something that you were expecting.
I don't think it takes much to expect this, given the inimical nature of the BJP's approach to every known constitutional norm. But let me give you 4 or 5 very interesting facets of this, which your viewers must know. This is an assault on federalism of the worst, cheapest kind. You have fought an election. You spent obscene amounts of money and you lost the election. I am elected there hardly a couple of years ago. You want to destabilize and come into power in these ways? Anybody walking on the street files a complaint. Now just consider, it is well established beyond doubt since the birth of our republic, forget now, that the governor has no powers except a few exceptions given to him specifically by the Constitution. Otherwise, if you are the governor, you are bound 100% hand and mouth with my aid and advice of the cabinet. The cabinet gives a very detailed reasoned orders.
But without Siddaramaiah...
1 minute, let me finish. Without Siddaramaiah, forget. No recusal. With Siddaramaiah not even attended the meeting. There's no recusal. It's not that he's sitting there recuses. He's not present.
We have Sunil and Pratibha joining us to get us more on this. Sunil, when we talk about this court that's coming up, this case that's coming up in the High Court today, what time can we expect this case to be taken up?
Well, as soon as the Chief Justice lists it, so it will be dependent on that in the Bangalore Karnataka High Court. So we'll have to wait and watch. But you just heard the basic tenets of the argument by Mr. Singhvi himself, speaking to NDTV, very categorically saying that on what basis, if anybody on the streets of Bangalore or in Karnataka start complaining, does the governor start acting on these complaints? And this is an attack on federalism, this is an attack on a democratically elected government, apart from the fact that there has to be a basis on which you should act. So definitely these are, gray areas. This is an issue that has clearly one precedent before, that was in the case of Mr. Yediyurappa. So we'll have to wait and see how things play out in the next few days, politically as well as legally. Legally, of course, there is the option of the Karnataka High Court and then the Supreme Court. Politically, on the streets of Karnataka and Bangalore, the fight by the Congress party continues.
Right, Sunil, also the Congress party has attacked that move of the governor, citing protocol that requires a consent for prosecution in corruption cases against the Chief Minister to first sought by the state police chief before it can be granted.
That's right. So there is a technicality. You should definitely have the clearance of the cabinet. In this case, the Deputy Chief Minister had chaired and said to reject it. So on what basis are you doing it? How are you going about this entire process? This is different from sanction of prosecution. This is you are giving permission to prosecute. So these are certain areas which can create a huge and have a lot of repercussions across the country. Because if tomorrow every governor starts doing this to the various chief ministers who are democratically elected, then we will definitely have a situation which can create mayhem.
Right, Sunil, we also have Pratibha with us. Pratibha, we did hear Siddaramaiah say that he will be putting up a huge fight. He's also gone on to question as to why should he really be resigning given the fact that he's done nothing wrong. That is the stand that he has maintained all along, saying that this is politically motivated. The Congress party, they're backing him. We've even heard the Deputy Chief Minister, D.K. Shivkumar, saying that this is unconstitutional and undemocratic.
In fact, this has, the Muda scam in itself has set off a political flashpoint between the Congress as well as the BJP. And time and again, the Congress has been maintaining that they have done nothing wrong and that the allegations are baseless. It was only a compensation that was sought for a land that already was gifted by Siddaramaiah's brother-in-law to Siddaramaiah's wife there. And there was absolutely no wrongdoing that was involved, and that the order in terms of issuing the compensation was already brought in during the BJP's regime. Now, that aside, the legal options that will be exercised are something that needs to be closely watched, because the Congress leaders, like you pointed out, have said that they would be standing by the Chief Minister there, and they would not just be fighting the case, but they would also be fighting against the governor, is also something that they have made a statement of. And they've said that there was absolutely no protocol that was followed, and which has already been elaborated by my colleague Sunil there. And the other thing also is that Abhishek Singhvi as well as Kapil Sibal, who would be fighting this case on behalf of the Congress government here, as well as the Chief Minister, would be holding a meeting of sorts in Bengaluru before they actually exercise that and approach the High Court. It will all start off with moving an application at the High Court, and then the High Court listing it for hearing. In the meantime, one of the complainants who's already gone to the governor, based on which this permission for prosecution has come about, has also promised that he would be fighting against the Chief Minister. In case he has to go to the High Court or the Supreme Court, he wouldn't really relent. Now, this case is definitely something that needs to be closely watched in terms of how this could play out in the political corridors of Karnataka. Back to you.
Right, thank you so much, Pratibha, for getting us all those details.